So thank you for coming here today and meeting with me.
Well, it's my honor,
I
Anna.
really appreciate your time.
Okay.
So can you start off just spelling your name for us?
First name Dennis, Dennis. Last name Thomas, Thomas.
Okay, and what branch of the military were you in?
I was in the Air Force.
Okay, and how long were you in there?
It was a 4-year term, but I only served 3 years and 3 months because they were giving early outs.
Oh, okay.
And so I got a shorter term that way. So a little over 3 years.
Okay, and what was your rank?
My rank was Staff Sergeant when I got out, which is pretty good for that period of time. Sometimes people would go 20 years and retire and only be a Staff Sergeant. But because of different circumstances, like going to Vietnam and other things, I was promoted rather quickly.
Okay, and what was your job in the military and what did it entail?
Do you want the technical term?
Sure.
Technical term, Ground Electronics Engineering and Installation Agency.
Wow.
How is that?
Did you go to war?
Yes, but maybe I'll explain a little my work
Job.
first. Yes.
Okay.
See, when you I was in Vietnam, and when you go someplace, you have to have everything. You have to have lights, electricity. You need roads. You need buildings. You need cooks. You need water. You need sewage. You need all those things. So the military guys, a lot of them were trained in certain areas at that time. And I was trained in telephone work. And in Vietnam, we put in the best telephone system in the world.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So did you ever go to war?
I was in Vietnam.
Okay.
So, combat, no. Most military people are not in combat. They're backup or support people. I don't know the ratio, if it's 40-1 or whatever, backup people for people who are out in combat. And like me, Air Force, planes and things like that, well, you needed a base. And so people ask me, were you a pilot? No, because I was in the Air Force, they expect I was a pilot. No, not necessarily so.
Okay.
So
And were you stationed anywhere?
I had my basic training in Texas and had 2 years in Alaska. Then I went to Vietnam and few months in Georgia. And I had, on my trips, I wanted to see things. So I went down the Alcan Highway twice, and I went to Mexico, and I went to Puerto Rico, and I went to Japan. So it was really a interesting time in my life, a time of learning and growing. So.
Yeah. How long were you gone, and when did you get home?
I was in Vietnam 6 months, 179 days actually. Excuse me. And that's technical because if you go 180 days, then you're a permanent change of station. But because I was only 179 days, I was temporary duty. Okay, so I was temporary duty in Vietnam.
Okay. And when you arrived home, did you have any problems adjusting?
From the time I left Vietnam till the time I landed in Elmendorf Air Force Base, Alaska, it was 100 degrees difference. So
Wow.
that was quite an adjustment. And I think I was the only one on the ski slope that following week with a tan. So, but it was very difficult emotionally. This room here is about the size of what's called our hooch. There were 16 guys in there.
Wow.
And you just get tired of them,
Yeah.
morning till night, and same guys saying the same thing, making the same grunts and everything. So you get tired of the strain in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you wonder, am I going to be the same when I get back? But I would say overall it made me a better person. Maybe I'll add there the Vietnamese people, my heart went out for them. When I'd see a Vietnamese lady, almost cry now. She has a bag over here with a little baby, another one over here, a couple years older, and one trailing along behind. And they find a cardboard box to sleep in. Yeah, it's hard. So I felt more for them than I did for us. Yeah.
Was that the only time you were activated to go to war?
Yes.
Okay.
I could have volunteered maybe to go back, but I didn't. So it was time to get out.
Did you have any problems with post-traumatic stress disorder?
No.
Okay.
I'm thankful for that.
Did you have any friends or?
Well, I've visited people in a VA hospital who had stress, and if you get an opportunity, that would be interesting to do. But this guy, I specifically remember him in Wisconsin. I visited a hospital there, and every night he relived that same situation, and it was very difficult. He had to have a light on every night, had to have pills to go to sleep. But it seemed that he came home with his body, but part of his mind was still over there in Vietnam.
What do you think we as Americans can do to help veterans returning from war deal with their PTSD?
Accept them. I don't think we can understand. Try to understand. For example, there were some guys at the VFW. This is my hat, my VFW hat, and they confided in me that they had killed somebody, and it was very, very traumatic. I understand it's more traumatic to kill somebody than to be shot yourself. So just imagine. I don't know what your experiences are, but I hit a dog one time with my car. It was quite traumatic, you know, feeling bad. I should have done different. But imagine killing a person, you know, and just trying to empathize with them in that situation. I'm thankful I was never in that type of situation.
And what is your opinion on the Department of Veteran Affairs? And do you think they need more funding, especially with veterans who are afflicted with PTSD? I appreciate the VA, I really do. And the service I've gotten here has been first quality. It really has. Nevertheless, it's still a government agency wasting money. And I don't know how to get around that, but I think there's still waste there. And what can be done for people with PTSD, my personal feeling, the answer isn't always a pill. I don't like that. They have a dog program here. Did you know that? Yeah, they have a dog program. You could call the VFW and ask them about it, and they can get you in touch. But people to have dogs, that kind of relax them. That's a interesting I've heard
thing.
animals help.
Yes, yes. And just that they get relief from their stress. How to do it, I don't know. Speaking of that, many people who have been in the military, I was single when I was in the military, but many of them who were married, it is very hard on marriages. Very hard to be gone for months, and then come back and you're kind of a different person, and your wife doesn't understand really what you've been through. And so it's very difficult, very difficult. So I didn't answer your question. I don't know what else you want
Well,
to
I think that was a really good answer.
Okay, okay.
And that's it.
That's it?
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for
Okay.
serving our country.
Okay, thank you, Anna.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Yeah.